They plan to remove the Burkina Faso president, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, is on ground. They want him to step down. They want him to stop everything. They want to change the government. They need democracy in Burkina Faso. But here is my word, my direct message to His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio. I know you are a knowledgeable person. You're well exposed. You understand development. You have vision for Sierra Leone. And I want to especially congratulate you for being appointed as ECOWAS president. You assumed office on the 22nd of June 2025 from President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And there is a pressure on you to actually dismantle the Sahel state, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. But here is my word for you today. And I believe this is going to also help the process of your decision making. Currently, in Africa, our problem is not with the Sahel region. It's not with the people in the military uniform. It's not with Ibrahim Traore or Simi Goïta. The Sahel state is not the current problem that you should take on. If you look at the history of Africa, you will understand that democracy has taken Africans for granted. And democracy has not served Africa well. And that is not to neglect the power of democracy if it is truly a democracy. So now, since these guys took power, we can see practically how they are changing their country and the effect of their work. Their approach to every single thing is very evident. So instead of using your energy and your power and your position in pursuit of democracy in this region, I strongly believe that you can channel this energy towards the people that are already practicing democracy. Make them produce results. Make them stop taking our resources out. Help countries that are not doing well to start doing well. Because it is not the uniform that Africa is concerned with right now. It's results. So if, for example, Ibrahim Traore was actually a good activist. Few years ago, before he took over power or he became, he went in to become a military person. He spoke for the people. And I believe that Ibrahim Traore as a person is even more civilian than most civilian rulers in Africa. His mindset is more civilian than the civilian and democracy. So, we must not make a mistake of going into battle and war with these guys. They have vision, they have plans, and they are executing the plan one step at a time. So we must allow them. So what we're going to do, in my opinion, and from my experience, is that we have to make democracy, those democratic leaders, we have to see their vision, their plans, and what they're doing. Then we have to actually place them side by side with what the military leaders are doing. And then we can see who is performing better, who is doing well, who people can actually connect with. I think that should be the first focus. Before you became the president of Sierra Leone, you know the economy. You know what the resources, the Sierra Leonean resources was used for. You are still fighting to make sure that the resources that is meant for Sierra Leone is being used for Sierra Leoneans. So I think all the democratic nation or country in Africa, they will have to prove themselves that they are worthy of trust. They are worthy of commitment. And when they can see clearly, we can see clearly, it will not be too hard for, let's say, Captain Simi Goita or Captain Ibrahim Traore to say, you know what, you guys are doing great right now. You are on the path of development. You know what our resources is meant for. So I don't think these guys are brutally connected to power, that they cannot let go of power. But what they see is that Africa must not keep giving out their resources. Africa must not remain underdeveloped. And that is the power. So, brother, my friend, President Julius Maada, I respect you. I see your vision. I've listened to so many things that you're doing. I've listened to the First Lady, and I know you mean well for Africa. So we want to see what you will begin to do from now henceforth. We want to see what your dispensation or your tenure is going to accomplish. To be honest and to be frank with you, I'm so disappointed with African Union. I'm so disappointed with ECOWAS. If ECOWAS is functioning well, Congo will not do what Congo just did. If ECOWAS was doing really well and they are so concerned about the economy of Africa, I strongly believe that they will not allow Congo to fight the battle that Congo has been fighting and life has been lost. They won't allow Rwanda to keep doing what he was doing, and they will come in between these states to settle things out. You see, these are the function I believe that ECOWAS is supposed to perform in order to settle things out, not to fight those who are already doing well in the name of trying to change government. We don't need that right now. So if you believe in Africa and you love what we're doing here, hit that plus button. This message must get to the president of ECOWAS, President Julius Maada Bio. I believe this is going to get to your table. We're ready to work with anyone who is ready to build Africa. We're ready to do anything possible to help your tenure to be successful. We're ready to put hands together with you to make sure that Africa becomes the best place for us. Congratulations on your appointment. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Africa. And I believe it is a dawning of a new day. But here is this word. Don't ever try to remove Ibrahim Traore. Don't disrupt his government. Don't disrupt Mali, Niger. This Sahel state, they are doing amazingly well. We can only give them our support to make sure that whatever they have started actually succeed. This is what we need in Africa right now. We're not thinking of removing nobody. When the time comes, every single person will know what to do. But for now, let's keep clapping for this guy. Let's keep supporting them. God bless Africa. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Before I start this video, I want to say, many people have tried, but they failed. This new president of ECOWAS will not manage, because this young man is a God chosen, and he has come to save Africa, and nobody is going to stop it from happening. Take a look.
ECOWAS has been funded 126 million euros by the European Union. The president of Sierra Leone, who is the current sitting chairman of ECOWAS, says this money has come at the right time when there is so much going on in ECOWAS. They are going to use the money to inject in training military groups that are going to help them fight the people of Sahel. He further says Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso should reconsider coming back to ECOWAS. The doors are still open for them. They should come back to ECOWAS as good brothers and contribute on the table of leadership. And also, they should ditch military leadership and go back into democracy, because democracy is the good governing system that fosters development and betterment for the people in all countries across the continent of Africa.
ECOWAS has a new leader, and this man is not here to play games. He's saying that he's going to be better than the previous leader, that is Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. He said that he's going to bring democracy to West Africa if they like it or not. And listen to this part. He said that any country that got its power through a coup, the leader must step down. Any leader that got into power in West Africa by means of a coup like Capt.Ibrahim Traore, they must step down. And also those countries must return to ECOWAS. So basically, leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they must all step down. And those countries must unite again with ECOWAS. He is saying that the people of those countries deserve to vote democracy. They deserve to vote. And that is true. I believe him in that. Except he's missing one thing. Those people of like Burkina Faso, let's take Burkina Faso for instance. Those people are out in the streets saying how much they love this man. They march wearing the face of Capt.Ibrahim Traore on their clothes, just saying how much they love him. Some people even sleep outside his palace just to protect him. They love that man. So, saying that the people of Burkina Faso should go and just vote the same guy that is already in power, that is a waste of money, a waste of time that we could be diverting to growing that country. Who is this man who just came with all this fire telling people to step down? Well, the new leader of ECOWAS is the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada. This president stays out of the limelight, out of the international eye, so I don't know much about him. But if there's anything about him you want me to know, please note it down in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about him wanting these leaders to step down.
Now, elections happened in ECOWAS, and the new president of ECOWAS was chosen. The new chairman of ECOWAS was chosen. Now, this new person is called Badad, the new president. The president of Sierra Leone is the new president of ECOWAS, the new chairman of ECOWAS. Now, from the reports that we are getting is that the elections were rigged. He was not the real person. Yeah, elections were rigged, and he was made the president. Are we together? So after he was made the president, he has come with very tough very tough instructions and very tough rules that all the countries in the West, in the West Africa must be democratic countries, and he doesn't want any country to be led through coup. No coup leader should be found in the West African countries, and he is ordering the Sahel leaders, who are from 3 countries, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, to come back to ECOWAS with an immediate effect. Take a look.
In breaking developments across West Africa, tensions are rising within the Sahel region as the new ECOWAS leadership takes a hard stance. The newly appointed ECOWAS leader has publicly called on Burkina Faso's transitional president, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, to step down, citing growing instability in the Sahel and a breakdown in regional cooperation. The ECOWAS leader expressed concern over the direction of the Sahel states, especially following Burkina Faso's withdrawal from the regional bloc earlier this year, alongside Mali and Niger. The alliance of these 3 nations under the Alliance of Sahel States has increasingly distanced itself from ECOWAS, creating fears of deepening political fractures and regional insecurity. The Sahel remains under threat from extremist violence, humanitarian crises, and economic challenges. ECOWAS warns that a continued military-led transition in Burkina Faso without clear electoral timelines could worsen these conditions and undermine efforts toward peace and democratic stability. Traore, who rose to power in a 2022 coup, has yet to officially respond to the new ECOWAS leader's demands. However, his supporters have remained vocal, insisting he is restoring sovereignty and stability on Burkina Faso's terms. This call from ECOWAS is likely to spark renewed debates across West Africa about sovereignty, security, and the future of regional unity. Stay tuned for further updates as tensions unfold in the Sahel. Follow me for more updates.
The president of Sierra Leone is not a very good person, as you ought to think, and the fact that he's talking about the so-called human rights and every other thing that Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they're really trying to make people suffer and all that. The fact that he's talking about all those things does not mean that he's a very good president that people love him. In Sierra Leone, citizens are complaining about this president. You can't talk about the government. Sierra Leone is a second Kenya, is another Kenya. Yeah, where you can't talk about the government, you cannot condemn the government. You can't call for the accountability of the government. Anytime you try to speak about the government, you are taken out. This man kills people in his country. This man destroys people in his country. Yeah. And the report that we're getting is that recently there is a man in his country who tried to actually condemn the government through a WhatsApp message, and he was taken down immediately. Yeah. So he is another dictator. So he wants to dictate these other countries. And what we know and what we're getting here, what we're seeing here is that this man is being used. Yeah, he's being used to take down Capt.Ibrahim Traore. He's being used to take down Abdurrahmane Chiani and Assimi Goita. Tinubu was used, but Tinubu failed. And just like Michael Langley was replaced with another AFRICOM general, AFRICOM commander, yeah, because Michael Langley failed to work things out in Africa. Now, even Tinubu has been replaced by this president of Sierra Leone by the West, because elections were rigged from the stories we are getting, and the West instilled this man to come and do the assignment that other people failed to do. Yeah, when we think it is over, it is not over. It is just starting, and more attempts are going to be placed in order to make sure that this Sahel movement is going to be taken down. So this president wants to overthrow the Sahel, and he's being used as a new mercenary, as a new person to be able to take down the Sahel. Okay? And he has really threatened the Sahel. He has brought some threats and all that, saying, you know, these countries must be democratic, and the West African countries and all African countries must be democratic. And AU also has been included to that. AU is demanding that that all West African countries, which are supposed to be the members of ECOWAS, should come and join ECOWAS. That they are not supporting any coup. They are not supporting people being led by the military or by the militants. Okay. And we have seen these just a few days after President Ibrahim Traore decided he is going to disband the Electoral Commission. That is when we are now seeing things like this, because they know if Capt.Ibrahim Traore disband the Electoral Commission and take it to the Interior Ministry, and then he vies for the presidency, he's going to win, and he's going to be a democratic president, and things are not going to be the same, because he is going to scramble them. He's going to crash them to the walls. Okay, so they are very much afraid of that. That is why they are using this president of Sierra Leone as a new mercenary to overthrow these governments. Okay, and they know very well that Sahel is going to win. Yeah, the Sahel is really going to win. So that is why they are trying to do all these kinds of things. What did people have to say about it? Take a look.
This is for my brothers in the Sahel, Burkina Faso, Niger, and of course Mali. I know you guys have a lot of questions about Julius Maada Bio, who is currently the new chairman of ECOWAS. Of course, he is illegitimately occupying the office of the presidency in Sierra Leone, and I hope you all know that, because the elections was rigged and there is no results for the June 24th, 2023 elections. So to my brothers in the Sahel, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, I know that Ahmed Tinubu, the former chairman of ECOWAS, who is currently the president of Nigeria, have relinquished power over to Julius Maada Bio. And Julius Maada Bio is pouncing around, acting like he's the tough guy, and he's willing to go to war with you guys in the Sahel. But I'm telling you, it's all bogus, it's all big talk, it's just fluff, there's nothing there. Why? First of all, he does not have the military to go and fight you guys in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Because the reason is, I'm telling you this is the fact. Sierra Leonean military is predominantly occupied by one tribe in Sierra Leone, tribalism. So the people that have weapons in Sierra Leone belong to one ethnic group, which is predominantly the Mendes. These are the guys that actually have weapons. Because what he has done over the years since he came to power was to purge the military and get other, folks from other parts of the country, particularly some of the northern part of the country in Sierra Leone, they are not in the military. They're being purged, they're being killed, they're being assassinated, they're being chased out of the country. So the military today is predominantly of the Mende ethnic group. That is what is happening. So that's one reason why he would not be able to put troops forward, to go and invade Niger, Mali, or Burkina Faso. I just want to lay that out there. However, he blustered, he bluffed, and he said he can get it done because, again, it was a coup guy himself. I mean, he was involved in a coup in 1992, involved in a coup in 1996. So that has gotten into him, and he thinks that it could, talk to Ibrahim Traore and Goita and all of these guys, in the Sahel region. So I just want to caution you guys. But the thing is this. What I want to point out again, please, I want to take this opportunity to advocate on behalf of my brothers and sisters that are Sierra Leoneans in these Sahel regions. Please, they are innocent people. Most of these are brothers and sisters are only running away from Julius Maada Bio because he's chasing citizens out. So there are lots of citizens that are in exile. I want you guys to understand that. So please, I don't want you guys to take it out on Sierra Leoneans. I heard a case in Niger recently where a Sierra Leonean was actually violated. I want to beg the Sahel region, my brothers in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, please, please, I'm begging you all, Sierra Leoneans are innocent people, the ones that are there. These are people that are running away from Julius Maada Bio, from his barbarism. If you speak up in Sierra Leone, he's going to chase you, kill you. There's a case of Evangelist Samson, who was just, a blogger who used WhatsApp to communicate to his people. It was gunned down, chased. Go check the BBC for yourself. You'll see where the BBC reported about him being killed.
I come this evening to can see the place where they shoot Samson. This is enough there, so it is in there. And yet, they try to escape for all level to that swamp. And yet, they shoot him.
So I want you guys to understand this, all right? And that is why I'm explaining to my brothers in the Sahel region, so you guys would have an idea of what we're dealing with and what we're talking about. But this is the real situation in Sierra Leone and what is happening, because Julius Maada Bio said he's going to be able to get rid of, the Sahel. I mean, get rid of Ibrahim Traore, get rid of Niger and Mali. Nigerians are not going to put up troops. Ghanaians are not going to put up troops to that. Liberia is not going to put up troops, but we'll see if the Liberian people would allow their soldiers to go fight a senseless fight.
I still join the majority of Nigerians telling President Tinubu not to go to war for the sake of brotherhood and the sake of Africa.
With Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, because of course they're not going to come back home. Any of those troops that make it over there are not coming back home. Because again, don't forget, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali have the support of, Russia. And they have all the weapons that they need, and it's their territory, this is their grounds. And also the people of these countries are actually supporting the military because they're tired of these useless, including Julius Maada Bio, who is illegally occupying office, is not legally elected to office, he rigged the elections, there is no results for his presidency. His presidency cannot be substantiated. So we see now, what he's doing. He's trying to look for ways to legitimize himself. And going up against the Sahel is one way that it feels like it would garner support from the international community. I just wanted to point it out, okay? But like I said again, Sierra Leone does not have the capability to go and attack Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso because the military is not there. And the guys that are actually protecting him right now are the soldiers, and he's not willing to let them go and die. And he's going to be left naked and bare. And of course, without the military today in Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio would be nothing, because that's the only thing he has to protect him at this point. Again, tribalization of the military, that is what has happened in Sierra Leone. So it's very difficult for the people to even speak out, right? But I just want to beg the folks in the Sahel, please have mercy on our brothers and sisters that are Sierra Leoneans. They are fleeing from Julius Maada Bio's barbarism, and that is why they are running away. They are exilees. They cannot come back home. So I'm begging you all, please treat Sierra Leoneans with dignity and respect and take care of them. They are not the problems. Go for Julius Maada Bio. He's the one who's illegal and illegally occupying office in Sierra Leone.
Ici à rappeler que ça fait plus de 10 ans que le Burkina Faso, le Mali et le Niger géreront les conséquences négatives, conséquences socio-économiques, conséquences sécuritaires, conséquences politiques, conséquences humanitaires de l'aventure hasardeuse de l'OTAN en Libye. Bien entendu, se pose la question, si ça nous a pris 10 ans, accepter encore une autre aventure de la même nature au Niger nous prendrait combien d'années? On ne sait pas, 20 ans, 30 ans, 40 ans, 50 ans. Une chose est sûre, le président Goïta et le président Traoré ont clairement dit non, non et non. Nous n'accepterons pas d'intervention militaire au Niger. Il en va de notre survie. Et bien entendu, les chefs d'État du Mali et du Burkina ont pris la ferme décision de laisser des actifs et non des passifs aux générations futures. À l'endroit de la CEDEAO, nous avons deux messages. Le premier message, c'est que nous leur demandons très clairement de cesser d'affamer nos peuples. Nous n'avons pas besoin de sanctions. Je pense qu'il y a énormément accès de souffrance que nos populations traversent. Le deuxième message, qui est également un message important, nous apprécions bien les ultimatums. Je pense que la CEDEAO se trompe lourdement de destinataire. Il faudra adresser ces ultimatums aux groupes terroristes. Et ça fait 10 ans que nous attendons cela. Je pense que nous serons très heureux pour une fois que ces ultimatums soient adressés aux groupes terroristes. Ensuite, à l'endroit du peuple frère du Niger, ce sont des moments difficiles. Le Mali et le Burkina Faso ont traversé des épreuves similaires. Nous tenons à leur assurer très fermement de notre soutien et de notre solidarité. Et restons résilients et stoïques, pour reprendre les propos de son Excellence le colonel Assimi Goïta. Tout ce qui est substantiel et positif ne peut s'obtenir dans la facilité. S'il plaît à Dieu, nous vaincrons.
How can you have a country and your currency is being printed outside? You say you are a sovereign nation. No, the church must speak. Look at what that young man has done. He's in his 30s. The man they are calling a dictator, look at the development he has brought to that country. He has built 2 gold refineries. Before, they carry all the gold out. He's providing employment. He's building factories, building roads, apartments, buildings, developing the nation. But you say what? He's a dictator. How? In 2.5 years, what that guy has done, you can't deceive us again. They take hold of your media and they paint Africa black. They paint us black. They say we are not. What Africa needs is not politicians. We need real leaders who care for the nation. And unfortunately, they are able to confuse us because there are some greedy folks, little ones, they look for them and they give them money and they ask them to bring confusion. And that's what is happening. Our borders confusion all so they can exploit us. But the time has come and the church must awake and pray against some of these things and speak also. We should be able to speak truth to power. This is a truth. This is truth that is bitter in their mouth. And we need to speak it. Those big denominations, they should speak.
And this is what the foreign minister had to say about this issue. The foreign minister of ECOWAS had to say about this issue. Take a look.
Tactical and diplomatic, responsive and anticipatory. Ghana understands this reality and we are acting on it. Our approach to national security is anchored in a clear doctrine. To be secure at home, we must be engaged abroad. And that is exactly what we are committed to while remaining non-aligned. The Sahel crisis, maritime insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea, arms proliferation, and violent extremism and terrorism do not recognize borders, and so no nation can stand alone. The withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger from ECOWAS and the formation of the Alliance of Sahel States further weakens ECOWAS. Evidence suggests that over the past 5 years, there have been several successful coups and counter-coups in West Africa. Mali 2022, Mali 2021, Guinea 2021, Burkina Faso January 2022 and September 2022, and Niger 2023. We live in a volatile sub-region. That is why Ghana has prioritized regional defense cooperation, particularly through ECOWAS and joint efforts. I must add that our Commander-in-Chief's visit to the Sahel region early this year has been reassuring. In a similar vein, under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and in close coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have deepened bilateral and multilateral military relations while showcasing Ghana's reliability, professionalism, and peace-first posture.
Now, I want us to look into some of the reasons as to why these people are very desperate on overthrowing or on taking down Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Even when we think things are now cooling down, it is when things are not just cooling down, things are now rising up very heavily. Now, number one, Since the coming of Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the empires are beginning to fall down. The empires are beginning to break. And those people who thought maybe they're going to be in power and lead people and treat them however they want to treat them, Ibrahim Traore has opened the minds of the youths. He has opened the mind of the people. He has wakened people up. And people are awake right now, especially the African youths who don't care about whatever the things you want to say. If you want to kill them, you go ahead and kill them. They don't care. They will face you. They will tell you whatever they want to say. They will remind you of their rights. Because Captain Traore said, we must fight for our rights. We must fight. We must fight. We must fight. Because if we do not fight, we will be defeated. And when we are defeated, we will never be free. He said, homeland or death, but we must fight. And that call has really waken up many people. African people today, they are behind Capt.Ibrahim Traore, and they are saying, whatever comes may, but Capt.Ibrahim Traore must leave and nobody should go close to him. And that is why really it is making these people afraid, because when people begin now being on your side, nobody can ever defeat you. So they're trying all the best way possible to make sure they are taking down Capt.Ibrahim through all means, because they know when this man begins now getting support from people, because people have power, there is nobody who is going to really defeat him. And because of the coming of Capt.Ibrahim Traore, see what is happening in Africa. Revolution is about to come, and people are singing the songs of revolution, and a change is coming. And leaders who were puppets, leaders who thought maybe Africa, they are going to continue leading Africa the way they're leading Africa, now they're beginning to shiver, they're beginning to shake because of the rise of Capt.Ibrahim Traore, and because of the hope that of the hope and energy that Capt.Ibrahim Traore has placed into the minds and into the hearts and into the bodies of the youths and people of Africa. Take a look.
They were going to save Libya. Today, let's go to Libya and compare Libya to that of when Omar Gaddafi was ruling Libya, and we'll find out the differences. Today, Libya is in tatters. Libya is going down. Right now that we have seen another leader in Africa rising up to serve the interests of the people, America is back again. If America wants to save somebody, they can go to South Sudan. If America wants to save somebody, they can go to Congo.
We have been asking this question, what happened to Libya after the death of Gaddafi? After you said Gaddafi was the imperialist and so he has to be taken out of the way. After his death, what happened to Libya? Libya is now in shackles. Libya is now in the glory of the past. Now, a young African leader has come to liberate his people, and the same propaganda it's being meted at Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Why? Is it that your own term of leadership is when people are impoverished, African continent cannot fend for themselves, they have to beg and get hams to feed? Is that what you call leadership? Is that what the West calls leadership? Now that we know what you mean by leadership, we no longer want you in our lands. This one person that has showed us what leadership is the person you are now trying to take out. Is the person you are now trying to threaten. Is the person you are now trying to send warnings. When every good thing he is doing in the land is visible for the eyes to see and for the blind to see also and for the deaf to hear. The Western leaders think that Ibrahim Traore is doing something wrong by liberating his people from abject poverty, from not having anything to hold on to, from not being able to build houses, from not being able to afford hospital bills, from not being able to go to the hospital to go and give birth to your child, not being able to provide 3 square meals for their families. That is what the Western leaders want. And so impoverishing Africa means that they will be rich forever. The youth of this generation have said, no, we will not sit down while you use your Western powers to destroy people that are dear to us. If you want to fight for any leadership, if you want to fight for true federalism, if you want to fight for your democracy, please go to South Sudan. Go to South Sudan. That is where you should be. Fight for the rights of those people that are being oppressed. Don't come to countries that are doing well for themselves. As far as we are concerned, Burkinabes are happy with Captain Ibrahim Traore, and that is all that matters.
Reason number 2. The people in parliaments, the parliaments of Africa, they are beginning to use Captain Ibrahim Traore as an example. In Africa, you see when people are trying to discuss on the matters of the government and all that, and on the failure of the government and all that, they are referring, from the work of Captain Ibrahim Traore, from the activities of the Captain Ibrahim Traore. What do they say? Captain Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso was able to do this and this and this and this. If we do the same, we are gonna change Africa. We are going to be different people. We are going to be loved by our people. We must follow his way. We must go his way. We must try and do things the way Captain Ibrahim Traore, he's doing things. Okay? They're using him as an example. They're using him as like they're using the things he has been able to do and his ways of doing things to save to bring up the ways to save Africa, okay? And so this one really shakes governments, because if in Kenya someone can refer to Captain Ibrahim Traore, if in Uganda someone can refer to Captain Ibrahim Traore, if in Ghana, if in Namibia, if in Liberia, people are referring to Captain Ibrahim Traore, it means the leaders in Africa are beginning to shake. And they're beginning to find it difficult to deal with their issues, because now Captain Ibrahim Traore is becoming popular even to our own parliaments. There are some bills that the government will have that the parliament will not pass those bills in case they are bad bills, because the parliament itself recognizes Captain Ibrahim Traore, and they know if we do things in a certain way that in a way that Captain Ibrahim Traore was able to do, then even we ourselves in our own countries, we are going to do better, we're going to live better, and things in our countries are going to change. And that one also is sending them in fear. Take a look at this video.
Accept this thing going forward. Last week, you see, Traore has become the hero to Professor. I and him will drink coffee about Traore. But he's doing 2 good things. That he becomes an international icon. A young guy, younger than many of us. Traore has changed the price of uranium. France was buying uranium from Burkina Faso for $1 billion every year. He stopped the French to buy his uranium. Today, Burkina Faso is making $85 billion from the same resource. We are selling uranium here. We have no nuclear power. We are just talking, everything is nuclear. We are just selling. Whether the Chinese are paying us the best price or not, we don't know. We are also afraid. What if they walk out of this deal? But Traore, a young man, a soldier, has changed his country. That's why Traore is now building up factories, processing plants of agro-processing, because he has resources. We have these resources. When we say some of these things must not be said in the open, but let's drink coffee and talk about the future of our country. we don't listen to one another. So, Foreign Minister, may your door be open for further engagement, deeper engagement in the national interest of our country, so that we start running, because we are crawling. We must start running. And this country has an opportunity to penetrate Africa, to penetrate the world, but we must run and we must talk to one another so that we get the country going. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reason number 3, after Capt.Ibrahim Traore started the issue and the things to do with not allowing our minerals going out at a cheap prices, or not allowing foreign powers to come and take our resources anyhow or on any time they want to take it, when he started stopping those kind of things, it started working for Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso began making money and raising their level of economy and all that. And other countries around Burkina Faso felt like this is the right way to go. So what happened? What happened is that the president of Botswana, Duma Boko, decided to do the same thing. The president of Mali and Niger, they did the same kind of things, and it began working for them. And now here's the president of Namibia, also following the footsteps of Capt.Ibrahim Traore. When he is doing this, it means that now countries are beginning to change. ECOWAS has lost 3 countries so far. Many countries are going to get out of ECOWAS and join Sahel, and that is what even sends to them even more fear. It sends to them more fear than they expect, because they have lost 3. They are going to lose 4 tomorrow. They are going to lose 5 the next day. They are going to lose 6. They are going to lose 7 because of this kind of things. Because the president of Botswana did the same thing. Niger and Mali did the same thing. And now here is the president of Namibia saying, we cannot allow our uranium and our minerals to be exploited or to go outside the countries at a very cheaper price, when we in our own countries, we can take care of them, we can use them properly, and we can make money out of it. Take a look.
We cannot continue as a country and continent whereby we send our resources to be processed in other countries, which means we are importing jobs of our young people. Both of our countries are producers of uranium. Namibia in particular, we are 3rd uranium producers in the world. And there's no reason why we cannot talk about nuclear energy. If other countries in the world are using it, why can't we use it? If other continents have done it, why Africa cannot do so?
Also, we have the reactions of people who think that Traore is doing better and nobody needs to touch Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Take a look.
We've been seeing everything that's been happening in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traore, with many attempts to assassinate this king, this god, for doing right by his people and building a sovereign, self-efficient nation. You see, the problem with the West and Europe, these demons want Africa to be under their control so that we can't become the god nation that we were meant to be. And you see that Ibrahim, he will not be killed, bro. No matter how many times they try, they cannot stop what's coming for African people globally. It has been written in prophecy, and they're trying to stop that prophecy from becoming true. And I just want to send a divine protection over Ibrahim Traore. The ancestors will make sure nothing will happen to him, because nothing won't happen to him. Because if these demons touch him, they touch all of us as African people. And if they do that, they're gonna see a roar and a force come about that will put them to sleep permanently. So, Ibrahim Traore, nothing will happen to him. But I'm seeing everything that's happening right now, and it can't be stopped. Africans are rising globally, and that can't be stopped.
Africans, let's all fight for Traore. This guy is standing for all Africans, not just Burkina Faso. Let's all fight for Traore. Mwajei Comedy, representing Kenya, I stand with Traore.
Touch all. Touch Traore. Touch all. Enough is enough. Touch Traore. Touch all. Touch Traore. Touch all. Touch Traore. Touch all. Touch one. 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 Touch all. America hears. Touch one. Touch all. Touch one. Touch all. Touch all. Touch all. Hey! 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 Hey!
Now, the truth remains, whether we like it or not, Captain Traore is going to stand because number one, he has the support of people. Number two, the African parliaments are beginning to recognize Capt.Ibrahim Traore and using him as an example in their parliaments when they're discussing bills and when they're discussing matters. Number three, some African presidents and African leaders are beginning to do the things that Captain Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. Yeah, stopping the minerals from going outside, stopping all these things from going outside and keeping them in their country. That is number three. Number four, people are beginning to follow Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the citizens and the citizens of the country, and now he's beginning to have many people behind him and many people supporting him. And now because of that, now people will begin losing power. They will begin losing power, especially the puppets. And when they are losing power now, it means what they've been getting from the West, they will no longer be getting it now. The West is using these leaders from ECOWAS to make sure, and also it has started using the AU. That's why I've been telling you, never trust the AU, because the African Union has never helped Africa. The African Union has been sabotaged and is not being led by Africans. It is not an organization that is made to help African people. It was made for African people. It was sabotaged. People interfered with it, and right now it is serving the West. Now they are using the AU, they are using the African Union, the ECOWAS to make sure that Sahel is coming down. But what I love most is that the people are behind the Sahel and the people are working behind the Sahel, and it is going to be very difficult for them to take Sahel down. Sahel is already popular. Traore is already popular, and people know, people have said, if anybody dares touching Capt.Ibrahim Traore, they are not gonna like what is gonna happen to them, because Captain Traore is the lover of the people and he has the interests of people at heart. Yeah, and so ECOWAS will try every possible thing it wants to do. This new chairman of ECOWAS, the president of Sierra Leone, you will come with every single threat you want to come with. Emmanuel Macron tried, he failed. The people who are sending you themselves, they tried, they have failed. Michael Langley was sent. He's a commander, he's a general, he's an army. He failed. You are not going to be the first person. Even the president of Ivory Coast was sent. He tried, but he failed. You cannot be the first person. So what I'm telling you is, what you're supposed to do, if you're ready to fight the Sahel, and if you want really to fight the Sahel, if you're sure about it, you arrange your cards well and make sure when you come, be prepared so much to face the war. Because you're not only facing the Sahel, but you're facing the entire Africa, and you're not going to make it. Yeah, because Traore is the king, is the president of Africa. We have chosen him. We have decided it is him. Whatever Traore says from today, we follow it. So if you want to fight the Sahel, arrange your cards well, come prepared, and be very well, be vigilant, be well, prepare yourself very well. Yeah, and be ready to face the whole of Africa, not only the Sahel, and not only Capt.Ibrahim Traore. ECOWAS is a useless kind of an organization. AU is also a useless kind of an organization. The only organization that is making sense right now, it is the Sahel, because the Sahel helps the people. Wars have been going on in Africa. People are suffering in Africa and they're crying every day. And nobody from the AU would say, we have come up with these to make sure we are saving the problem that is going on in Africa. That we are saving, that we want to save, or we want to protect Africa, or to take Africa from a certain situation that Africa is in. Have you ever had? You've never had. In the Western Africa, in Nigeria, and many other countries in Africa, youths and people are demonstrating because of bad governance. Has ECOWAS come with a solution? It has not come with a solution. Wars have been going on in Congo. AU did not do anything in Congo. People have been dying. People have had war in Congo. Nobody even sat down and tried to come up with something that will help Congo. It is words and words and words and words and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking without acting. Words are useless without action. We need to act. And therefore, these organizations are very useless. ECOWAS is useless. AU is useless. The only organization that makes sense right now is the Sahel. And they want to take it down because they know very well Sahel is performing more than the two organizations are performing. Sahel is more popular right now, and many people are behind the Sahel more than them. Sahel will make them look underdogs. Like, it is gonna make them look like people who does not make sense. It is gonna overshadow them. Sahel will soon overshadow them, and that is what really instills fear in them. That is why they are doing all things possible to make sure they are bringing down the Sahel. Well, it's not gonna happen. What do you think about it? Tell me what you think about it. Do you think it's gonna happen? Do you think it's very easy for them to take him out? It is not easy, very hard. Many have tried, but they've failed. Who is he to manage? This one is a godsend. He's a godsend. He came to save the continent. He was sent by God. That is why taking him down is not going to be very easy. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read the comments and give a response where possible. I am Atamba. This is African Streamline. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for coming. If it's your first time to be here, don't forget to subscribe. For the returning subscribers, I salute you. I tell you every day Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as black people. God bless.